Hi Taurus, welcome to your love forecast for the month of July. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right on in here and see what's coming up in the month of July for Taurus. If you are not a Taurus, but you're curious about a Taurus, and you're just watching to see if you can get info on your Taurus, you're more than welcome to stick around and watch. But I have a specific series for cross-watchers. So if you want to check out the Taurus cross-watcher video after this one, feel free to do so. The link will be in the description for that. But we're going to see what is coming up with Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the month of July 2019. One more shuffle here. And then after we look at your cards, I'm going to pull a message for you from your soulmate. Whether or not you've met your soulmate, I'm going to pull a message from that deck there. See what your soulmate or future soulmate has to say to you, Taurus. 3, 4, 5. All right, my dears. So this is a good. This is a good. We've got Ace of Cups starting off here, kicking it off with Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is really positive energy, especially when we're looking into energy having to do with love and love life. Ace of Cups tells us about a rewarding, satisfying, happy, new emotional experience. You know, an experience in our emotional or personal life. Now, every reader has certain cards that have specific meanings, and Ace of Cups is one of those cards for me. When I see Ace of Cups in a reading, it tells me that the person that I'm reading for is having a pretty significant breakthrough, energy shift. Like there's a healing happening in the chakras, and this person is coming into a time where they're going to begin learning a lot of really valuable life lessons or love or romantic lessons. But instead of learning through pain, which many of us do and many of us start out with, we begin learning through pleasure or joy or very satisfying emotional connections. So like, we've all had that time in our life when certain things happen and we're like, oh my goodness, okay, I get it, universe. I learned my lesson. I never want to feel this way again. No more. I'm done with it. Like, I'm done with cheaters, or I'm done with fakes, or I'm done with users, or whatever, right? Like, we learn a lesson because someone caused us a lot of pain. Well, Ace of Cups tells me you're coming into a time where instead you're going to begin learning through positive experiences. And so instead of being like, oh my goodness, never again, no more, enough, you're in the energy of, oh my goodness, yes, this is amazing, I love this, more please. So you begin to learn through positive experiences. So I feel, Taurus, to have Ace of Cups come up, many of you are having a wonderful new love partner coming in. Or if you know you're not going to be breaking up with your person, then you have this beautiful renewed energy, like the relationship's getting a makeover energetically, right? And it's coming into a sense of like new feeling, okay, like newness, happiness, excitement, romance, fulfillment. So you're shifting the love energy in your love life to where you're bringing in the kind of energy that you can be excited about, especially if you're a Taurus that you've been single for a while, but you've been single more so because nobody has really excited you. You know, like nobody's really done it for you. You haven't been impressed. You know, Ace of Cups is telling me prepare to be impressed. Okay, so moving along, my darlings, we've got 5 of Swords. So this is telling us what's happening is as this rewarding new emotional experience is coming in, this new love is coming in, negative ego may be kind of coming up here and tempting you to push it away. You might be tempted to kind of sabotage yourself because you might be like, wait a minute, I don't know if I trust this, or wait a minute, I don't know if this is really happening. So we might begin to seek fault. We might, you know, go into detective mode, right? Like we kind of want to know everything about them, and we want to like snoop through things, or we want to analyze them or catch them in the act about something. And for me, Five of Swords is a card that says choose your battles wisely, because when the Five of Swords shows up, little things can escalate into big disagreements, to the extent where you may burn a bridge with someone. You may like forever end a relationship, and it didn't have to go that far. So Five of Swords is saying keep that negative ego in check. And it's also saying for us to be in the energy of, our emotions might be high. We might be like really excited about this person, so it might leave us feeling very vulnerable, very sensitive. So if we find ourselves getting upset, this doesn't mean that you need to ignore your feelings. This doesn't mean that you should avoid, talking to this person about these things. It just means that it's going to be a good idea to keep your emotions in check, so that you can kind of step away from a little bit, calm down, like get a hold of yourself, then confront the situation, or then ask the questions, or then talk about the things that you have concerns about. Because there's nothing like progress and happy change to make the negative ego come up and start doubting or questioning. So I feel that might be happening for some of you. Some of you may also have like people who are having a lot of opinions about what you're doing in your love life, or opinions about this new relationship. I feel some of you have like these toxic people in your life where they have a habit to encourage you to push people and things away, because I think, Taurus, you're very valuable to these people. Like, you're the person they call when they're having a bad day, or you're the person they come to when they need help. So if you're in a relationship, they might feel like, oh, great, now I have to share you with somebody else, or you're not going to be there for me when I need you, or you're going to go off and be happy and forget all about me. So for them, it might like work for them for you to be unhappy, because the saying goes, misery loves company. That's not to say you can't be a very happy single person. Not at all. You can absolutely be a happy single person. But this person is seeing this, or these people are seeing this relationship, or your relationship, like this new relationship coming in, or an existing relationship that's being healing and improving. It's threatening for them. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna lose Taurus. So they may kind of do things to try to rile you up, or to try to put a lot of doubt in your mind about this relationship, to where you find yourself believing it, or being overly paranoid, or being overly suspicious of this person, right? It's good to be cautious, but we don't have to be suspicious. So we can ask our angels and guides to help us find the appropriate balance there with that. But something about this Five of Swords makes me feel like there might be people in your life that are they're on the offense. They're on the offense, because I'm seeing, like, I'm visualizing this goalie, this is in the US we say soccer. I know in the rest of the world you guys say football. And so soccer/football, I'm seeing like the goalie that's running in front of the net and sees the ball and like blocking the ball. Like, nope, the ball's not gonna, nope. So I kind of feel some of you have these friends or family even, who are that way. Like, somebody new is coming in for you, and they're like the goalie in front of the net, like, nope, block. There's a kind of vulgar expression. I don't want to say it because I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but you guys know what it means. But, I just kind of feel like some of you have these people that are creating conflict where there doesn't need to be conflict. So you're going to have some healthy boundaries there with that. Next, we have Page of Cups. This completely and totally kind of ties them together, or confirms the energy that I've been feeling from the get-go. Page of Cups can be seen as a new love. Some of you might be dating somebody younger, okay? Some of you may be getting involved with a water sign, a younger water sign, or a water sign who's very playful. Maybe some of you need that playful, fun energy. After all, you had that Ace of Cups, and Ace of Cups is, you're going to have fun when the Ace of Cups shows up. When you see Ace of Cups, it's happy, positive, fun experiences. So There's another meaning with the Page of Cups. Like I said, every tarot reader has certain cards that have a little bit of an extra meaning for them, and Page of Cups is one of those for me. Those of you who watch my videos, you may have heard me say it before in previous readings if you've ever had Page of Cups come up in your other readings. But when Page of Cups shows up for me in a reading, over time I found that it's Spirit's way of letting me know that the person I'm reading for is going through this emotional unblocking. Like the heart chakra was blocked and now the heart chakra is opening up. So this is somebody who is like newly learning how to let somebody in. This is somebody who's like for the first time ever really like ready, or for the first time in a long time, maybe ever or in a long time, where they're ready to really have this strong emotional connection. But what happens, because it's the Page of Cups and it's a very new opening of, you know, being open to this connection, the person might feel a little bit overwhelmed, right? And we already kind of got that info here, right? Because we had the really high Ace of Cups, then we had the Five of Swords, like the wanting to fight or being paranoid. And now we're coming into Page of Cups. It's letting us know that, like, take it easy with yourself, because this might be very overwhelming for you, especially if you and your partner have not been loving in a long time, or if you've been single for a long time. To all of a sudden have this positive connection coming in, we can really psych ourselves out, and we can like get very suspicious and, oh, I don't know what they're up to, right? Or we might be tempted to sabotage the relationship or pick a fight or push it away because the emotions are so intense and we feel so vulnerable. For some of you, this is reverse. For some of you, you're dealing with a partner who's in their Page of Cups situation, like where their heart is newly opening up and things are going to be a little bit overwhelming for them. So this is the kind of energy where you want to keep in mind just to be balanced. You know, it might be good sometimes not to talk every single day. It might be good sometimes not to spend, you know, a ton of time together, because the feelings become so intense and they become more than what we can handle. So Page of Cups says, you know, brace yourself, like, you know, like not brace yourself, pace yourself. You know, it doesn't all have to come in immediately, all in one shot. You can just go ahead and take it easy. Take it easy. Allow your heart chakra, your heart to open up and to take this in as much as it can, a little at a time. Like if you haven't exercised a muscle in a really long time and you decide that, you know, you're ready to have strong muscles, you're not going to go into the gym and pick up the heaviest weight and try to start bench pressing it. You know, you're not going to go and start trying to bench press, you know, 200 pounds if you haven't worked out in a very long time. So it's the same here with this emotional experience. You need to pace yourself. You need to go easy on yourself. You don't need to go in like full speed and like, you know, lock this down and what's the next thing, and just take this a little at a time. Next we have 10 of Swords, right? So 10 of Swords for me, I know it's a scary looking card, but anytime it has come up for me in my readings for myself or reading for somebody else, I have found it always comes up before a really wonderful, wonderful time. Because the 10 of Swords, even though it can be a bittersweet ending, it's always the ending of something that has been blocking us or holding us back or causing us harm or unhappiness or misery in some way. And in my experience anyway, when I see 10 of Swords, it's like we're the ones making the decision that something is to end. Okay, so I feel that for a lot of you, now that the heart chakra is opening up and this really amazing, significant chance for love is in front of you, you are going to have your eyes open, where you're going to begin to see the situations, the ways of thinking, the feelings, certain friends or family members or situations that have been preventing you from really experiencing satisfying love in your life. You know, you're going to see the friends who are sneaky, planting doubts and suspicions in your mind, or, you know, family in some cases. You're going to see the habits maybe that you have had in which maybe you have sabotaged yourself in love. You're going to begin realizing certain ways of thinking or beliefs that you have had that have sabotaged you in love. For example, all men are dogs, all men are cheaters, or all women are gold diggers. You know, sometimes we have these beliefs that prevent us from really being able to experience a satisfying connection. And so when I see 10 of Swords, it's saying that that is ending. That is being done. Some of you are ending a cycle of addiction of some kind of self-medicating that you're putting behind you, or you're dealing with a partner who is like really finally ready to put their addictions or their self-medicating behind them. 10 of Swords can also be healing from an addiction, overcoming an addiction once and for all. But it's just basically this decision that you're going to do life a different way. You're going to do your love life a different way, right? You're seeing what's been holding you back and you're like, nope, no more, not going to do that anymore. So next we have, Five of Pentacles. This is interesting, Taurus. You guys might have a couple of different energies coming in here. You guys might be leaving a toxic relationship and going out into the unknown, symbolically, energetically, with a new soulmate here. Because Five of Pentacles is like, it is a card about vulnerability, and it can mean that maybe some of you are sacrificing being in a financially stable relationship, albeit maybe a toxic one. You might be sacrificing that financial security to leave the relationship, to go out on your own, to find yourself. And in that process, you're connecting with soul family, or you're connecting with, a significant soulmate. Five of Pentacles is like you're kind of in this unfamiliar territory, and things may be very uncertain or very up in the air. But I always think of Five of Pentacles like the Wizard of Oz. She's just kind of out there wandering and traveling, and along the way she meets these interesting characters who end up being great friends, great protectors, a sense of family among themselves, as they're seeking this greater wisdom, as they're seeking this greater knowledge. Only with Five of Pentacles, typically, usually, one of those members of the soul family actually also ends up being a romantic partner, a soulmate, a romantic soulmate. So I do feel that 10 of Swords that we just had, for some of you, is you are leaving a toxic relationship, and you're like, you know what, my priorities are different now, and I'd rather have connection, and I'd rather feel loved and be loved than to have this life where maybe things look so great from the outside. Especially with Taurus, security is very important to a Taurus. That's why sometimes Taurus can come off as being materialistic or being really into money. Now, some Taurus can be, right? Because we have high vibrational and we have low vibrational. So maybe a lower vibrational can be like really obsessed with money. But overall, Taurus in general, they need the physical comforts. And so some of you Taurus, you're walking away from the physical comforts to experience this emotional connection, okay? To experience this closeness. So it's kind of like you're ready to be vulnerable. You're ready to connect. Some of you Taurus, there is a relationship that's ending for you, but it's ending to make way for this new relationship. Overall, it's a sense of new love. Okay, so if you're single and there isn't another person, then you're going out into the unknown, into this unfamiliar territory, and you're taking a chance on this new person, this new experience. It can leave you feeling a little bit, out in the cold. If you are with a partner and you guys aren't going to break up, you're like, well, maybe things haven't been so great, but they haven't been toxic and we're not going to break up. It's not really a toxic connection. Then Five of Pentacles for you is going to be finding a new way to do things. You're taking a chance on a new way of doing things. You guys might also be, as a couple, cutting out certain negative experiences or situations. Maybe some of you are like, okay, my job is taking way too much time and I can't be around my significant other, or your significant other has a job and it's taking way too much time and it's keeping them away from home. And, you know, so you guys might decide, you know what? We're going to look at our work situation here. We're going to cut back on our work hours, or we're going to quit a toxic job and we're going to find something else. And even though money may be tight for a little bit, or even though we might be experiencing a pay cut, at least we're going to have each other and we're going to be able to focus on the relationship. For some of you, the 10 of Swords and 5 of Pentacles is coming in that way, where you're choosing love over money. Okay? And for other ones of you, something is being toxic, something is being cut out. If you are a Taurus where your partner has been accusing you of being selfish or greedy or not being around a lot, they may be at their breaking point where they're like, look, either you're gonna like show up in the way I need you to show up, or this relationship is done. So if you have had a partner that's been trying to communicate to you that they've been unhappy or they've been unsatisfied, they're not playing around. You know, they're not playing around. They mean this. So that's something that you have to look for yourself and you have to examine for yourself. We're going to see what message your soulmate has for you. And again, guys, as always, the information for the decks I have in the description if you like the cards that you're seeing and if you want to check them out. I always have the info in the description. Now, I love this deck. Each card has a little love message on the back. But before I share the love message, before I read the love message, I like to look at the picture and read it intuitively and see what messages I get from the picture on the card. Okay, so here what I'm seeing is kind of like this person is surprising her. Like he's opening up his coat and he has like this beautiful, looks like a tree. Like this tree of fire or this tree of light. So there's something here that's growing. There's some seed that's growing that he's sharing with her, right? And she's open to receiving it. So again, I just feel like there's this new love, like something new is being planted. It's growing, and the way he kind of has his arm over it, or, you know, behind it, almost like he's kind of shielding it. Like they're both trying to keep it safe. They're both like working on it or focusing on it. So I do feel that, you know, this soulmate currently, or the soulmate that's coming in, you guys are making a resolve and agreement together that we're going to really tend to this little seed. We're going to do what we can to nurture it and keep it healthy and keep it growing and protect it from negative influences. So the message from your soulmate is love changes everything. Days are longer, words mean more, joy is more intense, pain is deeper. Love can turn your world around, and that world will last forever. So again, remember how we talked about some of you are feeling very vulnerable? This is confirming that. It's like, you know, the pain is deeper, but the joy is also more intense. Like, we feel a lot more deeply, we feel a lot more strongly, and it can be a scary feeling to have, but it's coming in to enrich your experience in life. And that this is a love that if you're working on it, it can truly last forever. Okay, that's what your soulmate wants you to know. It might take some work, but it'll be worth it. All right, my darlings, be sure to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos as well, because some months, those may resonate with you more than others. But also in connection with that, the weekly forecasts are also very helpful. So the weekly forecast, for those of you guys who know on this channel, I focus on you, because we get so caught up with the love readings and the cross-watcher readings that we get so focused on this other person or other people coming into our life that we forget about us. So the weekly forecasts are about you. So be sure that you watch that so that you're also focusing on you, the other areas of your life, your spiritual growth, your personal connections, your own psychic gifts and abilities, your abundance, your finances, your career, all that good stuff. Be sure to check out the weekly forecasts as well. If you would like a private reading, there's a link in the description to take you to the private readings to book with me. And guys, card of the day, the pick a card game, I've been enjoying playing that with you guys on the social media, so don't forget that as well, available on Amethyst Angellight Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so very much for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Have a fabulous July, Taurus.